Okay, and we're live. Hi, everyone. I hope you had a great lecture with Professor Nolan and before that with Professor Hollis. So welcome back to our beginner English chat. And today, what you'll be doing is a class about small talk. So we'll be discussing small talk, some tips and techniques, and some expressions that you can use when engaging, when doing small talk. So we'll wait just a few minutes because it's still only 3 p.m. We'll give some time for everybody to arrive. Okay. Lee Yejin. Hi. Thank you for coming. Kathleen, it's been a while indeed. I'm happy to hear from you. Great. Okay, so if you're here, would you please send a message in the chat room, just like Kathleen and Lie Jin did? I would love to hear from you and to just see how your day is going so far. Unju Shin, hello, and hi. Great. We're all coming in. Awesome. Okay, so as I had already mentioned, this is the beginner class. We will be talking about small talk. And small talk is an important skill for your social life. I'll give you some useful phrases and expressions that you can use. And as usual, at the end of our class, we will end with a quiz. So please listen carefully. If this is your first live stream class, I would especially like to hear from you. So if you're new here, how it works is I'll be speaking and giving you some questions, and it would be great if you could type in the chat box. We have about 4 active students right now in the chat, but it would be great if more of you could say a little hello. Oh, good. Here we go. Ki-byung, hi. Do-young, yes, Lee, good afternoon. Chae-son, I hope I said that well. Lee Chae-son, good afternoon. HJ, yes, hello, great. So how are you doing, everybody? How is your weekend so far? How is your weekend? What have you done this weekend? Anything special? Good. How is your weekend so far? Good, HJ. As usual, me too, as usual. Just nothing special, the usual. So I guess the usual for me is a little bit of cooking, relaxing, reading a book like this. Good. I have a wonderful time with the weekend as it is. Nothing special is great. Great. I had lunch. I ate lunch before this class. Me too. I had some homemade kalguksu. It was quite nice. Okay, good. So we'll begin. As I said, the topic is small talk. So my question for you is, could you please tell me, what is small talk? I would like to know your definition of small talk. And if you do not know the answer, that's totally fine. That's why we're here today. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is small talk? Small talk. Give it a second. Oh, more students are coming in. Hello. That's fine. Could anyone give a definition? Oh, good, bingo. We have an easy conversation. Yes, easy conversation. Like greeting, saying hello, conversation with not that important of a subject. Very good answer. M, thank you. Like the weather. Yes, Kim Do-kyung, of course. We'll be talking about that a little bit later. In my country, in Canada, we love having small talk about the weather because my country, Canada, is a lot like Korea. Canada and Korea both have 4 seasons. So it's kind of fun to make a comment on the weather because the weather can change, right? Maybe small talk about the weather isn't that common in a country where it's, for example, always the same, temperature. So if it's always hot in a country, if you say, oh, it's hot today, that doesn't seem like a special comment, but I think in Canada and Korea, the States, etc., if the weather changes a lot, it's a good idea to comment on that. Okay, pep talk. That is a great term. So a pep talk, my understanding of it is something you say to another person to encourage them. Like in Korean, you kind of say to somebody like fighting or some kind words to cheer them up. So a pep talk would be, for example, maybe, you're feeling sad, so your friend tells you, don't feel sad, you can have a great day, to raise your spirits. Oh, DV Diary is back. I remember your name. Talking about something small but not important. Very good. Okay, good. Talking just for fun. Tea time, yeah, like some conversation you can have very casually. What about a joke? Oh, that's a great question. Sure. I think you can say a joke is small talk. But we're going to get into very soon the who, what, when, where, why, and how of small talk. So who is it for? What's the purpose? So we'll talk about that. Oh, pep talk is not small talk or not. Okay, so I think now it's just time to jump into my question. It'll help you understand small talk a bit better. Who is small talk generally for? And Kim Do-kyung, yes, just before starting the conversation is good. So I think by answering this question, we can determine whether small talk is pep talk or not. Okay, so who is small talk for? Hello, Joyce. Do we use small talk for people that are close to us or people who are maybe not that close? For example, strangers, acquaintances, people that you're kind of distant with. Who is small talk for? When we meet new people, of course. Yes, yeah, when we meet new people, everyone, yes, strangers. Good. I think it's mostly for people who you are not close with. So my idea is maybe not friends or family. You just speak to them regularly. You speak to them normally. Right, not close people, says Kathleen. It is like ice breaking. Exactly. Good job. So to answer a previous student's question, pep talk would maybe be for someone you're closer with. But again, every situation is different. I think that small talk is best for acquaintances. I'll put that word in the chat, acquaintances. And maybe you can give me a definition of an acquaintance. Who are acquaintances? Acquaintances. Yes, not that close people. We already got the answer, right? Strangers, maybe your boss at your workplace, someone that you do not see very often. You never really visit their office, but if you're in a social situation with them, you kind of have light and easy and friendly conversation. Or your classmate, your coworker, exactly, not close people. Good job. Okay, so we have an idea of what small talk is. I'll give you an example soon. How about this one? When and when can we use small talk? That is an incorrect sentence, Cassandra. We will retract that and say, retract means delete. Where/when. So where and when can we use small talk? Can I delete that? Oh, I can. Lovely. We'll pretend that I didn't make that error. Thank you. So where and when. So what I'm asking is, in which situations can we use the small talk techniques? Yes, to begin a conversation. Right. Maybe we're in a situation such as a party and we don't know very many people. So we need to have some small talk to break the ice, make other people feel comfortable with us. Okay, blind date, good job. Of course, on a blind date, you wouldn't talk about deep and serious subjects right away. So you would probably start with easier, light conversation. DV says, maybe when we meet new people at work during a company lunch. Excellent, yes. Good job, casual situations. Except for formal meeting. Okay, so it really depends. I think if you're in a formal situation, a very formal situation, you just need to follow what is happening. So if other people are making small talk, you can jump in and participate. Good job. Other places are possible. So like a conference, in your classroom, believe it or not, when you're in an elevator in some Western countries, quite honestly, in Canada, a lot of people feel awkward, very awkward when we're just in an elevator with people and nobody is talking. I think that that's an awkward situation. Many people would agree with me. And sometimes there will be a person who will break the ice and just start speaking in a very light way, about the weather, about some observation that they make. Maybe if you're wearing something beautiful, they'll say, "Oh, nice jacket," like that. Okay. Yes. Oh, good. With teachers. Yes, you want to build a friendly relationship with your children's teachers. Exactly. Cute. So my mom says a lot of strangers make small talk with her at the grocery store when she's picking out fruit or vegetables. Sure, at the mart, at the grocery store. Yeah, when we try to get to know each other. Good job. Excellent. Where you come from, that's a good one. So we'll talk about that very soon. My last question to introduce the topic is here. Why should we use small talk? So why do we have these friendly little conversations with people that we don't really know? What's the purpose? What is the purpose of small talk? So why should we even study it and learn about it? What's the purpose? I'll give you a second. Yes, exactly, to break the ice. And what does breaking the ice do? Yes, good. It helps us get to know each other. Great answer, Sang-hyun Sung. Yes. Anyone else? Reduce the anxiety. Yes. So when someone is nervous or scared or anxious, we can help them feel calm. Yes. I like Ki Byung Kim's answer, to test the waters. That's like feeling out the situation. Maybe younger people would say kind of checking or testing the vibe. That means to kind of feel the atmosphere of a situation or a person. Is that person nice? Is that person, not so nice? They don't want to speak with you today. Yeah, testing the waters. Great expression. Yes, to reduce awkwardness and silence. Change the awkward atmosphere. Test the waters is a good answer. I agree. I love that answer. To make the easy atmosphere in a formal place or to break the ice. Good job. I think we all understand. I agree with you. We want to make other people feel comfortable. It makes a better social relationship. It can help you meet new people, make friends, improve your social life. If there's a new person, a new coworker, it's nice if you chat with them casually, not about deep subjects. We'll talk later about some subjects that are inappropriate for small talk. But yeah, you want them to feel good. Sometimes when someone helps other people, for example, in a grocery store, sure, good job. Silence is awkward. Maybe it could be a cultural thing. So we could talk about later how maybe in some cultures, silence is golden, meaning we want silence. We don't want to talk to new people. That's an okay thing. That's a fine way to live your life. Other cultures perhaps just want to talk some more. So we can talk about if there are any cultural differences about small talk. But I can guarantee you that small talk in English is quite important. Actually, I would love to tell you a very, very quick story about a former student of mine when I worked at another university before the cyber university. I knew a professor, and this professor was so good at English. He studied every day. His English was so advanced, and he finally had the opportunity to go to America and live in America for 1 year to do his research project. However, even if his English was so perfect, he had some trouble. He sent some messages to myself and some other native speaker professors at my my ex-university, my last university. And he asked us, how can I make friends in America? I don't understand. I don't know what to say to people. Even if his English was great, he never practiced just these common daily life conversations. So he spent a few months, unfortunately, a little bit lonely. Some of it wasn't his fault. He was in a small town in America. And if you know anything about small towns in North America, everything closes early. So restaurants, pubs, grocery stores, the mall, everything closes by maybe 9 p.m. So he was so shocked. He said, wow, like none of my coworkers want to drink soju in the night with me. We don't have any company dinners. My coworkers, they don't eat lunch together. They don't have a dinner after work. They go home to their families. So he was adjusting to some different workplace cultural differences, as well as just not knowing what to say to people when he was in the elevator, in the staff room. So we just had to help that professor a little bit. And eventually he did make some friends. He was fine. He just had to kind of understand more about the importance of, just talking about anything and going with the flow of the country you're in. Okay, that story was longer than I thought. So why don't we jump in to how? How can we do small talk? So I want to ask you first, do you know any ways that you can start a friendly and polite conversation with people you don't know that well? So with some strangers. Imagine you're that professor in America and you want to make some friends. Do you know some conversation starters? How to start the conversation? Some sentences you can say, some tips, some subjects that you can talk about. How can we begin a conversation with some person we do not know? That's a conversation starter, starting your conversation. Before we talked about weather. Oh, alohi, yes. Hey, the weather looks nice today, doesn't it? Yes. Of course, the weather. Anybody else? Sports, of course. I think most people enjoy sports. You might have to borrow the phrase, test the waters, because maybe someone is not at all interested in sports, but you can try that. So what are your hobbies outside of work? Yeah. If you're at your workplace, sure. Ask people about their hobbies, what they do for fun. That's a very easy thing to do, and probably nobody could feel angry at you for asking that question. It's not very personal. Yeah, how is today? How's your day going? Or you can ask about the past or the future. The past, you could say, how was your weekend? Or if the weekend is coming in the future, what will you do this weekend? What are your weekend plans? Good job, Anne. I agree with you. Commuting issues like traffic jams. Yes. So you could talk about the drive to your work. How was your drive here? Did you encounter a lot of traffic on the way here? Or you could talk about some road or some highway being full of traffic, about a traffic jam, or even an accident. Hey, did you see what happened over there? That's a little sad, but it's kind of, related to news and, something that you think the person could know about. Yeah. What have you been up to? Good one. What have you been doing these days? Excellent. Okay. So I have a few conversation starters or tips that I have written down. I'll show them with you. But before I do that, I just want to remind you that these are just some general tips. They are not 100% rules. So don't feel like you have to only use the things that I teach you today. And always remember that you need to be aware of your situation. So imagine you're at work. Imagine you're at a party. Imagine you're at a conference. So there could be different situations. And I'll try to tell you more about those different situations. Oh, good. We have more answers coming in. How about complimenting about someone's appearance? Okay, that's such a good idea, but there's a lot to say on that subject. So I'm going to save that for a bit later. The short answer is you can maybe compliment somebody on their appearance if you're 100% sure that the compliment will be taken, received well. So that means, so you wouldn't want to say a compliment like, you look better now that you lost so much weight. Because that compliment might make someone feel sad, thinking, oh, did I not look pretty last year when I was, bigger? So there could be some stuff like that where you need to really be sure, like, okay, this person will take the compliment well. So we'll talk more about that, about appearance. Good. Do you have a favorite restaurant in the neighborhood? Yes, Kimberly, good job. So we'll be talking about that later as well, asking for recommendations or preferences. Do you want to get a cup of coffee? Yeah, that's so natural. Of course, that's a great way to start a friendship. How is your baby? How is your family? Yeah, of course. A coronavirus question. So what do you do alone at home these days? Yeah. How are you handling the coronavirus? Good job. As well, something related with your job. Perfect. These are all great. Okay, so let's just take a look here at my board, if I can bring it well. All right. 30 seconds, not even 30 seconds. 10 seconds, please, as we adjust and I move my camera. I think it's time that I try out other techniques. I know that a lot of other professors at this university, they use PowerPoint presentations. I'm very old-fashioned. I really like teaching with a board, but perhaps I will switch over in the future. If that's something you would like, maybe give me a thumbs up or say, yes, please. Yes, please, teacher. Use a PPT. It would be easier for us. Okay. So I hope you can see it. Can you see the first thing that's written down? Let me know. Can you see it? Is it okay? Say, I can see it. I can see it. I'm worried that it could be a little bit backwards looking. Oh, okay. Okay, we have some okays. Yes, okay. Okay, great. Thank you. So, very basic with greetings. We have start any conversation in almost any situation, right? How are you? How's it going? What's up? These become less formal and more casual as we ask them. Oh, someone says the position where you sat has changed. Ah, yes. I wanted to try a different background, so we'll test this out. All right, so quick tips about these. When you are having small talk, conversations with acquaintances and strangers, oh, HJ, thank you. When someone asks you, how are you? How should you answer? What I'm getting at is, should you say how you truly feel and all of your problems? Or should you just keep your answer very light and friendly, like, I'm fine, thanks, and you? What do you think is better? If your close friend or family member asks you, how are you? I think you can tell them honestly, like, oh, I'm having such a bad day, or some terrible thing happened. But if it's with an acquaintance, if you're doing small talk, how are you? Do you tell them your problems? No. Right, we keep it very, very simple. They probably do not want to know about all this negativity. Good job. I'm good. How about you? Good answers, everybody. How are you? I'm good. I'm fine, thanks. And you? I'm well. I'm doing well. All of these are fine. Okay, a little bit more friendly and casual, less formal. How's it going? It's going well. Again, it's better if you answer a positive answer. It's going well. Things are fine, like this, right? Of course, if a close person your very close coworker or your very close friend or family member says, oh, how's it going? Maybe you can tell your problems. It depends on the conversation you're in. But remember, with strangers, keep it positive. And again, the very, very informal, what's up? A very standard answer to what's up is, I'll type it, nothing much. And you? Nothing much, and you? Nothing much, and you? So it's like saying, I'm fine, thanks, and you. But it's the more casual one. So, hey, what's up? Nothing much, nothing much, nothing much, and you? Like that. So again, I'm good. That's fine too. Yeah, again, with what's up, keep a good, positive answer. Again, though, if the situation changes, if you are with your friends and there's some problem and they say, hey, what's up? Right? Then you can tell them about your problem. What's up in that case is like, what's going on? Is there a problem? Tell me about it. You may even hear this what's up being used in a lot of Western dramas or movies. We would say like, what's up with this person? Meaning, is there a problem with this person? Again, that's a very informal thing. It could be even rude if you're not close with the people. So I'd kind of say like, I don't know, if I have a brother, right? Someone tells me, hey, Cassandra, what's up with your brother? He seems weird these days. So like, does your brother have a problem? Is everything okay with him? So you might hear the what's up with him? What's up with her? What's up with the situation? Like, hey, what's up with your computer? Your computer is not working so well. So you could hear it like that, but that's more informal. You wouldn't say to your boss, like, what's up with that report? Why is that report so bad? Is there a problem with the report? No, we wouldn't say that. Oh, I have a good answer in the chat. Never been better. How are you? Never been better. I love that one. Yes, that's lovely. Good job. Family. Well, blah, blah, blah. Exactly. To your family, you can say well and say the whole story. Kim Do-kyung says, we can make a good rapport with others, beginning a talk with some small talk subjects like COVID-19. Yes, common things. Small talk and common things go together. Good job. Good job. Okay, so now we'll get into something a little different. This could be related to appearances a little bit. I think it's really, really safe not to compliment somebody on their physical appearance. For example, like telling them about, I don't know, like their skin, their hair, if they look better than they were yesterday, their weight, stuff like that. I think it's better if you do not comment on those things, but you can comment on something that they have. For example, something that they purchased, right? It's not like a part of their physical body. It's something external. It's outside. For example, their glasses. Hey, nice glasses, right? Park Angel says, I love your shoes. Yeah, good job. I love your necklace. I love your dress. Exactly. You catch on so well. So this is said, especially between females a lot, as a way to start a conversation. Like, wow, I love your purse. I love your skirt. I love your shoes. And you could even ask for a recommendation like, oh, where did you get them? Or where did you get it? So them would be your glasses, your shoes, your earrings. So if the word ends with an S, them. Where did you get them? I love your boots. Where did you get them? But if it's one thing, I love your purse. I love your bag. I love your wallet. Where did you get it? Where did you get it? So you can say it like that. Yeah. So, wow, I love this. Where did you get it? So there are so many other ones that you could say to compliment someone on their appearance. You could, you can write them down in the chat. But again, with the appearance, be very careful not to comment on something that could make someone feel insecure, right? You could say to someone by mistake, oh, Oh, you're so pregnant. Congratulations on your pregnancy. Maybe they just gained some weight during COVID-19, right? And they're not actually pregnant. Alternatively, you can compliment somebody for losing weight. Oh, you look so skinny. That's awesome. But is it really awesome? Because sometimes a person may have gotten skinnier due to a sickness, right? Like maybe they had cancer, maybe they had something else, some terrible problem. So in my personal experience, I try not to comment on, the weight of people. But yeah, other things that are a little safer, go for it. Yes, the context, Joyce, exactly. That goes well with you. That's a really good compliment. Yeah, I love your purse. It goes so well with you. I love your lip color. Sure, you could say that. Yeah, I think no one would be upset about that, especially if someone is intentionally wearing lipstick. Sure, gorgeous. That's a nice word. Yeah, what a gorgeous bag. Where did you get it? I love your eyes. Oh, that is so deep. You could say that to somebody if they have beautiful eyes. I have a few friends like that. Yeah, they have just naturally beautiful eyes. So you can compliment them on that. These days I am interested in nail coloring because I have a lot of time at my house. So I recommend nail products. Yeah, sure. You can recommend somebody like, that's okay. Like, oh, I would love to do your nails. These days I've been studying manicuring. So I would love to do your nails if you would let me. Okay, yes, very good. Yeah, exactly. How did you do that? Yeah, you can ask someone how they did their hair, how they did something else. I'm not sure, like maybe men would do this as well, but 100% I'm not so sure on this one. So forgive me. This one might be a little bit more for the ladies about, like certain things that they wear or buy. But for men, yeah, sure, maybe one man to another man can do that as well. I think that's okay. It's a compliment. Like, hey, nice shoes, nice belt. I like your tie. Like that. Okay, so we've already spoken about this one. Yeah. So we could also talk about the weather. So if there's some strange weather that's been going on, like typhoons, you could say, so how about this weather? How about this weather we're having, right? Were you safe during the typhoon? Well, look at all this snow. It's hot these days, isn't it? So there are so many things that we could say about the weather. Do you know any other expressions or things you can mention about weather? Here is a very simple one. So how about this weather? How about this weather that we're having? Do you know any? Let's see. Okay. Oh, thank you. We have some nice compliments. I'm just catching up on the chat. 미경소. I can relate. Sure, you can talk about a hurricane if there's a hurricane. Yeah, I heard a hurricane's coming. Be careful. Sure. Yeah, how do you account for the rain? Okay, so like another way you can say that in a more casual way would be like, so what do you think of all this rain? What do you think of all this rain that we've been having? It's cool outside. Fall really comes early, right? Or fall is coming soon, right? How about today's weather outside for Jisun? Yeah. How about today's outside? We need to know what about outside. So outside temperature, outside weather. So how about today's weather outside? We say that a lot. A little cloudy. Yeah, it's a little cloudy today, isn't it? What happened? What happened in the weather? Can we say that? Yeah, maybe we could say that. You could say more like 요즘, like these days. Oh, what's been happening in the weather lately? What's been happening in the weather these days? It never rains but pours. Good expression. It never rains but pours. It's like saying we're not getting a little rain. We're getting a lot. It's pouring down. It's raining cats and dogs. How's the weather? Perfect sentence. DV diary. Yes, you took the words right out of my mouth. It's raining cats and dogs. It's turning into fall. Fall is coming. Fall is coming. What's the weather like today? Yes, sure. It began to rain. Okay, perfect sentences, everybody. Well done. All right. So another thing we can talk about, I mean, it's pretty simple, but it's a great conversation starter. It's just about location. So location, simply, are you from here? Right? Oh, are you from Seoul? If you meet somebody in Seoul, hey, are you from Seoul? Maybe you wouldn't say this to somebody on the street suddenly. Maybe if you're at a conference or, you're in your workplace, you're with some classmates in the classroom, you want to get a little bit closer with people. Are you from around here? Are you from Seoul? Where are you from? That's a fine way to start a conversation. So we can ask about location. Other things we could ask, we could say, well, what brings you here? What brings you here is like, why did you come here? But why did you come here is a little bit rude because it's too direct. So if imagine I'm in the elevator and I'm with a bunch of scientists and like we're all going in the same direction. Why are you here would sound a little weird. But if I wanted to speak with them, I could say, oh, so what brings you here? Are you here for the conference too? Like this. I like your accent. Where are you from? Beautiful. Sure. If someone has a foreign accent, yeah, you can ask them that. I think that in really, really multicultural countries, that one might, how can I say this? There could be people who could be very, very sensitive. They could say, I was born here. My parents have this accent, so I have the accent. They could feel a little bit uncomfortable with that. But I think it's fine, like especially in Korea, if you hear someone with an accent, like an Irish accent, an Australian one, an Indian one, like it's clear that they're foreigners in Korea. They're a foreigner. So you could ask them that question. Oh, I love your accent. Where are you from? I think that's fine. Yeah. So Mikyung-so, yeah. What brings you here? Yes. What brings you here? Yeah. Not why did you come here? What brings you here? Me, am I from Vancouver? No, I wish. I love Vancouver, but I'm from the middle of Canada. I'm from Ontario, a very small town actually in Ontario. So I never say the name because even Canadians have never heard about it because it's so far in the north. It's a cold place. But I studied in Ottawa, in the capital of Canada. Maybe the Korean pronunciation is not Ottawa. It's more like Ottawa. So I like to tell people I'm from Ottawa, but I'm not technically from there. I was born in a smaller place. What made you come here? Yeah, what brought you here? I love Korea. Simple answer. Did you come from Canada, Professor Nikiforuk? Yes, I did. Good question. I've been in Ontario. I hope the weather was okay. I hope it wasn't too cold for you. How long have you been in Korea or the place you are living? Oh, wow. We're having some real small talk now. This is perfect. Good question. I have been in Korea almost 7 years. Ottawa. There we go. But a lot of Canadians say Ottawa or Ottawa like that. What's the purpose of your visit? Oh, I'm here to teach English and I enjoy my life here. Yes. Okay, good. So we can ask questions about simply the location. What brings you here? That's a polite way. Yes, wow. All right, so now we'll go to recommendation. I think Kim mentioned this earlier. So about like recommending. I think that this is a very safe conversation starter. So, if you're in a new situation with strangers, especially if you're in a new town or city, you could ask, oh, could you recommend a good something in the area? For example, I'm new here. Could you recommend a good cafe in the area? Could you recommend a good cafe near the university? Something like that. Maybe you could ask about a good restaurant. Yes. You could ask about for hair, a good hairdresser, a good salon in the area, a good mall, a good hotel. Yeah, a good place to do your nails, a good place to get a manicure. Yeah, could you tell me a good blah blah in the area? Could you recommend a good blah blah around here? You can obviously change the sentence a little bit, but this is quite a standard way. It sounds a little formal, but if you say it in a casual way, it could be all right. Hey, could you recommend a blah, blah, blah? Sure, could you recommend a nice school in the area? Could you recommend a good temple in the area? Lovely, lovely. I want to go hiking. Me too, I like hiking. Could you recommend a good place for hiking? Could you recommend a good place in Ottawa? Oh, well, there are a lot of good places, and it depends on what you want to do there. But I like Parliament Hill. Parliament Hill is like, it's where all of our government decisions are made. It's like the Blue House in Korea or the White House in America. So the Parliament, that's our main government building, and it's on a hill, right? It's on like a small mountain. So Parliament Hill is very beautiful. Could you recommend a good playing place? Okay, awesome sentence, but I'll change a little bit because a lot of native speakers, we don't say play, we say hang out. Could you recommend a good place to hang out? I think in Korean, like play, what's the word in Korean? Like let's play, like 놀자, like hang out, let's have fun. But I think that play for us is more about a game, like a video game, or a sport, or children's social life. So for adults' social life, could you recommend a good place to hang out? Like this. Unju, is there a greenhouse? That's a cute question. There are greenhouses in Ottawa, but that is where vegetables are kept. Could you recommend a good hotspot for tourists? Good question. Could you recommend a good cafe around here? Perfect. Good job. I'm trying to catch up on all of the messages. I think we have. Could you recommend a good church? Sure. Yeah, a place of worship. Could you recommend a good book in this bookstore? Lovely. Yeah, could you recommend a good place to hang out? Could you recommend a good place to hang out? Yeah, or Park Angel. If you're asking about your children, yes, you could say that. Could you recommend a good place for 3-year-old girls? For a 3-year-old girl. You can say it both ways. Awesome. All right, we'll move on to the last one. A little bit more situational, and that means depending on the context or your location or your situation. Situational. So for example, if you are at a party, a very common icebreaker I've found is asking about how do you know the host of the party? How do you know the person who is running the party? So you'd say, so how do you know Karen? If Karen is the host of the party. We're all at the party because of Karen. Karen invited us. So I could say to another party member, if I don't know them, I'd like to speak with them. So how do you know Karen? That is trying to establish some social connection between us, right? So how do you know this person? That happens a lot at weddings. If you're at a wedding, as you know, so many different people from the bride and the groom's family and friends are there together. So you could say, so how do you know the couple? How do you know the bride? How do you know the groom? You know, the bride, obviously the woman getting married, and the groom, the man getting married. Right. So how do you know them? And then you say some story. Well, I'm their cousin, I'm their brother, I'm their friend from high school. Yeah, how do you know him? How do you know her? How do you know Anne? Yeah, sure. So you say like somebody's name. Yeah. Not like you wouldn't say, why do you know Anne? That sounds a little direct. So a little bit softer is, oh, how do you know this person? How do you know Karen? Same meaning as who's Karen, exactly. But how do you know sounds a little nicer. So that's why we say it. How do you know my husband? Ooh. Sure. Yeah. How do you know my husband? Yeah. How do you know Anne? Okay, good job. So the next one, simply, we talked about it before. How's your day going? How's your day going? You could say that to your coworkers. That's a situation where you're at work, go up to your coworker. So, how's your day going? Like that. And other observations. So, this could be applied to so many different situations. Like, just comment on something that's going on. If there's a song playing on the radio, you could say, oh, I love this song. And it starts a conversation sometimes. If you're waiting in a line to buy something at the store, if it's a long line, you could say, oh, wow, what a long line, like that. If it's a hot day and everyone around you is sweating, you could say, oh, what a hot day. Sure, like this. Oh, we have a good question that popped up. In the sentence, could you recommend a good restaurant? What does the good mean? Good just is simply a way to describe restaurants. So just meaning like delicious. There was more to your question. That's a good thing. So that's a good question. It could mean all of that, right? So then the person who you're speaking with, they could say, oh, what do you mean by good? So, hi, could you recommend a good restaurant in the area? Well, what are you looking for? Oh, what do you mean by good? They can ask you that question, right? Or they can just give you their favorite restaurant recommendation. So it's just a way to start the conversation. You asked a question. Could you recommend a good restaurant? So just like, obviously not one that could make you feel sick or that has some terrible menu. So like, normal, above average restaurant. Could you recommend a good restaurant? And then the person could answer in a variety of ways. And that's why it's small talk, because it starts the conversation and you can keep going. Sure, like popular and affordable. But that's a good question because everybody describes restaurants differently, what a good restaurant is, and you can talk about it. It is a long queue. Very good. Queue is a beautiful word, and a lot of British people tend to use that, more in British English. But line and queue, same meaning, and you can use both. Good job. So that's all for the tips that I have. I would love to have a conversation now with you. My question is, so imagine you had some great, polite small talk in English, but time to end the small talk. You need to go. How can you end small talk? So we talked about conversation starters. Well, now we need to finish the conversation. Okay, so how can we end the conversation in a polite way? We can't just run away. How can we end it normally? Yeah, there you go. Nice chatting with you. TV, yes. Strategies. Pretend you got a phone call. Sure, you really can. As long as they know you are not lying. Oops, sorry, I think I gotta go. Yeah, that's okay. Sure, gotta go now. Sorry. Oh, I'm late for my next appointment, right? Oh, sorry. I'm going to be late for dinner. I'm going to be late for my class. I'm going to be late for an important phone call. And then you can go. Yeah, you could also ask, I'm glad we were able to talk. Take care. Yeah, you can say that. You can ask, what will you do next? That kind of is a transition into, maybe it's time to do the next thing. Alohi. Oh, look at the time. Good job. Thanks for your time. Stand up and say, well, it was nice chatting. Yeah, that's a great one. You're right, Juyeon. It is a little difficult to get out of a conversation sometimes. Yeah, this class was so fun and the time went by so quickly. Yep, so you can use that for sure. It was great catching up with you. Let's do it again. My children are waiting for me. Have a good weekend. There you go. Children, it's a great reason to have to leave. Well, if you're at a party or social event, you could say, well, I should grab another glass of water or soda or wine or whatever you're drinking. I need to get another glass of this. I mean, it's not that polite, but if you're really, really stuck, if you're in a very casual social situation, oh, I have to use the ladies' room. I have to use the men's room. Ladies' room, men's room is just like saying bathroom or washroom. So like 화장실, ladies' room, men's room, excuse me. I enjoyed our chat. Hope to see you around. I need to get a glass of water. Yeah, sorry to say this, but I got to get my tea. Oh, good. I think it's time to go. May I have your number? Yeah. If you want to be friends with the person or have a date with them. Yeah, of course. Say hello to your mom. Oh, that's so nice. It was good to see you. Say hello to your mom. If you know the person's mom. I've got to get going. Nice to be with you. Lovely. I'll call you back. Have a nice day. These are all perfect. Lovely, lovely. So that's a polite way to end your conversation. Okay, this could be a little bit fun. My next question is, what are some bad small talk topics and questions? So bad means inappropriate, maybe impolite, awkward, uncomfortable. So what are some small talk topics we should not use? We already talked about location is okay, compliment, recommendation, weather, maybe your hobby. So what are some things you just shouldn't mention to acquaintances, to these strangers? Money you make, of course. Age, yeah. Personal hygiene habits, yeah. Health, religion, oh, of course. Age and income, past relationships, religion. Yeah. I mean, honestly, religion is okay if you're in a social situation at a church. Because if you're in a church or a temple or somewhere where everyone is probably believing the same set of beliefs, I think it's okay. I don't think it's that bad if you're at a church meeting and you talk about God with a, kind of a person you're not that close with. But if you're at your workplace, at a party, in a meeting with your coworkers, and you, for example, go to the coworker and say, have you accepted Jesus Christ into your life yet? Maybe they don't want to talk about that, or maybe they have a different religious belief. So that's something you could totally talk about later when you're close with the person. But if you're not, it's not a good idea to do that with them. Gossip. Unju, you're right. You shouldn't say gossip. Gossip is talking about other people. For example, she says, hey, did you know my friend Sarah is terrible, is awful? Yeah, we shouldn't do that, of course. Very personal questions. Did your son get a good point in this exam? Oh no. That would bother me. So don't talk about your children's grades or ask another person about their children's grades. That can make them upset. Racism. Yeah. We wouldn't do that. A controversial topic. How much? Yeah, how much was that bag? If you're close with the person, it's okay. But if they're a stranger, maybe not. Things you dislike about others. Yeah. No gossip. Marital status. Yeah. Are you married? Are you single? To a stranger, maybe is not the most appropriate. BTS. Right. Cute answers, everybody. Okay, my last question is this, because I would like to know about cultural differences and how small talk is in Korean. So Could you tell me, do you participate in small talk in Korean? And what are some things in Korean that you say to each other when you do small talk? Or do you think that there are cultural differences in small talk? Let me know. So do you do small talk in Korean? Yes or no? Is it comfortable? Is it awkward? Does it make you shy? Do you think that small talk is boring or a waste of time? Do you think it's important when you're communicating with others in Korea? Someone says here, Mimi Vlog, I always get bothered by many questions from like Grab or Uber or taxi drivers. Sure. Yeah, so that's a good example of how we all feel differently about small talk. Maybe some people like to talk a lot. Other people, they don't really want to be asked questions. Mm-hmm. Especially, if they're traveling somewhere and they expect the situation to be quiet. So, so what do you think about in Korean? Do you use small talk a lot? Unju, your messages are so kind. I keep messaging. They're really nice. Anyone else? Small talk in Korean. I think I do. Yeah. I'm wondering, is it the same as in English? Do you talk about the weather, about sports and stuff? Are there any cultural differences? It's probably a hard question to answer. So I'll give you a bit of time to write those messages, and then we need to finish with a quiz. We'd rather be quiet when meeting strangers. Yes, asking about ages. Sure, I think that's a cultural difference for sure. Through small talks, I make friends who have common interests. Good. Okay, so it helps you make friends. It's simple and short. I like it. Okay, so it could happen sometimes with coworkers. Yeah. Good. Small talk is very important for me. People who are better at small talk are more likely to make many friends. Okay. I try to when I want to practice Korean, and I find they can be quite hesitant. Aww. Oh, sorry to hear that. Strangers in the elevator. Jump. Yeah, when I think it's not common, but we can do it for foreigner. Okay. Yeah, as I mentioned, I'm from a very small town in Canada, and a characteristic of my small town is that people talk to each other because everybody knows each other in this small town. So I grew up used to talking to different people all of the time, like in an elevator, in a grocery store. You're taking a walk and you see an old man or an old woman and you say, oh, hi there, how are you? You don't know them, but you just want to say that to them. So when I came to Korea, I think in elevators, I tried to talk with people like in English, just, oh, hi, how are you? And then I quickly learned, no, that's a little weird in Korea. Why is this foreigner speaking English in an elevator? So I realized that's not the most appropriate thing to do. Weather. Okay. We pretend we just don't see each other. Oh, about eating. Yeah. I think a lot of great conversations center around food in Korea. What are you going to eat? Did you eat today? Yeah, that's so kind. I love that. Okay, so you like small talk a little bit more when you're abroad. Cool. Canadians enjoy small talk. Maybe. It could be true. All right. Okay, so we'll end now very, very quickly. I have 3 questions for you. My first question is, please give a definition in your own words. What does the word acquaintance mean? What is acquaintance? So we talked about that at the very beginning. The purpose of small talk, who small talk is for. What does the word acquaintance mean? Sorry to rush you, everybody, but time certainly flies. Sure, okay, you could say that like a neighbor. Why not? Yeah, like a stranger, a neighbor. I'll go with the first two answers. So Yuna and Hansu. Someone you don't know very well. For example, your neighbor. Good job. Okay, next question is, name one topic that is socially inappropriate for small talk. So we just talked about this, a bad conversation topic for small talk. Everyone else, your answers are correct, by the way. Personal hygiene habits. Okay. There you go. And finally, what is a common answer to the question, what's up? So I talked about one really common answer to what's up. What's a common answer to what's up? Hey, what's up? Nothing much. Okay, we'll go with that. Yeah, nothing much. Nothing much. And you? Nothing much. Or I'm good, bro. That's a cute answer too. So who was first there? Maybe Alohi, nothing much. Good job, good job. Okay, thank you so much. I had another great time on our live chat today. I hope you learned a thing or two. Thank you so much for participating. Your answers were really well done. Next week from 3 until 4 o'clock, I will be talking about hobbies and words of frequency when you want to talk about how often you do something. For example, how often do you play soccer? I play it twice a week. That's an example of frequency, so how often. So that's the topic for next time. I hope to see you there. And yeah, we'll end our class now. So I hope you have a great day, and I'm looking forward to the next time. Enjoy your day, everybody. Bye-bye. Take care, everyone. Good job. Oh, yes, Mimi, it's every Saturday. The time changes a little bit, but you can see the schedule on the Cuffs website. But next week is the same time, 3 to 4. Oh, don't worry about being late. Just come again next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye, everyone. Thanks a lot. See you.